Frank, how are we?
I'm fine, young man. How are you doing?
All good, thank you, Frank. We've got the return of Joe Joyce. You must be excited to see him back.
I am. It's been a long time. Well, it seems like it's been a long time. He's back in the ring on the 24th of July, and we've got him in a real good quality fight against Takam. It's a good fight for him.
Talk to us a little bit about Carlos Takam, the opponent selection, and what you make of him.
Look, he's a tough guy. They know him in this country. He can punch, and I think he'll get the best out of Joe. He's not coming to sit on the floor. He knows himself. If he beats Joe, he'd take over his position in the WBO. So he's got nothing to lose. It's going to, the boot's going to be on the other foot. I mean, Joe goes into some fights as an underdog. He's going into this one where everybody's going to make him a big favourite.
Obviously, we've got Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury rated number 1 and 2 at the moment, with obviously Deontay Wilder and Usyk in the mix. Joe Joyce would probably see himself as number 3 after the victory of over Daniel Dubois. Where do you rate him in terms of that mix?
He's in the top 5, no doubt about that. He's in the top 5. He's in that position. I mean, look at all the belts he had. He won a lot of those belts that were held by Daniel. He got the European, Commonwealth, British, various other intercontinental belts and silver belts. He holds all of those. He's in the top 5.
If Joe Joyce was to fight Anthony Joshua tomorrow, how would you think it would go?
I fancy him, but I said the same thing if Anthony Joshua was going to fight Daniel Dubois. I fancy both of them had beaten. I think Joe is big, he's strong, he's got a good jab, he's been there, he's very hard to hit, he takes a shot, and he can whack. And as we've seen in AJ's last few fights, he got beat by Ruiz, but if he gets clipped, he's wobbled, and he's capable.
Talk to me a little bit more about Joe Joyce's weapons. Obviously, he's got a fantastic jab, but there's a lot more to Joe Joyce than just his jab.
Yeah, well, a jab's the most important punch. A jab is the punch that settles yourself down. You line up shots when you throw a jab. You relax when you're throwing a good jab. And everything, as I always say, comes off the jab. And he's got that. He's strong. He's got a very good chin. I mean, he takes a good shot. But what happened in the fight against Daniel Dubois, and looking at him today, is the weight that he shifted. He looks in good shape now. You look at some of the fights. He looks a bit like he's carrying a bit of timber on him, but he's got rid of that. So I'm looking forward to see. You're going to have a big comparison when you see him get in the ring with Takam, because you've seen the type of guys Takam's been in with and fought. So we're going to have it's going to be a sort of good yardstick to see, how much he's come on. Because really, as a pro, what is it? As you're saying, it's 12 fights he's had. That's no number of fights, is it? You're talking about fighting for world titles after 12 fights. I can't think of too many guys who've done that.
July 24th is going to be some night. We've obviously got Joe Joyce and Carlos Takam, and then we've got the big one with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Did you watch what happened last night?
Yeah, the old the stare off.
What do you make of it? 5 minutes 46 seconds. That was quite a lot.
Is that what it was? I sort of lost the will to live after a while watching it. No, it was what it was. Wilder's. The 2 previous fights, Wilder never won anything with those. Against Tyson. Every time Tyson kept doing him verbally, got in his head, as he said, he was living rent-free in his head. He got into it, and I think he just thought, if I don't say nothing, then he's not going to be able to jump on it and twist it and turn it to his advantage, and that's what he did. Now that's all great, and we're going to see plenty of stuff coming up. Is he going to maintain that in the press conferences and fight weeks leading into the fight? I've got no idea. It doesn't matter, because on the night, all that matters is what he can bring to the ring, and can he change his style? Can he do anything different? Is he capable at his age of fighting differently than he has done for his whole career? Can Malik Scott change his style? That's going to be for him the acid test.
Do you think that Deontay Wilder putting his headphones on was a little bit of their Team Wilder trying to take Tyson Fury's edge off, as in Tyson Fury feeds off it?
I think if you've got the headphones on, whatever he was listening to, he's not listening to Tyson. So Tyson's, in his mind, is probably not getting into his mind. He was just somewhere else. I can stare and do all that stuff. But, I don't read anything into any of that. That means absolutely nothing. What matters is on the night. On the night is what counts. What can he bring? What can he add to his armour? He's a tremendous puncher. Hardest punching heavyweight in the last 30, 40 years. And statistically, I think the hardest punching heavyweight ever, statistically. Can He landed a bomb on Tyson, and he's done it twice. He did it in the first fight, put Tyson down twice, and certainly in the last round, I personally thought it was all over, and Tyson got up. Not only did he get up, he took the fight to him and was winning the fight at the end of the round. And he got robbed. Decision was a bad decision, in my opinion. Second fight, the 13th round. The first round was like the 13th of the last round. Tyson just jumped on him and done a job on him. So you look at the various. You look at what their attributes are. You know, has he got a better jab? Has Wilder got a better jab than Tyson? No. Has he got a better chin than Tyson? No. Tyson took his shots. He couldn't take Tyson's, as it was seen in the second fight. Does he move better than Tyson? Has he got a better boxing brain than Tyson? No. Can he punch harder than Tyson? Maybe he can. Maybe he's a bigger puncher than Tyson. But Tyson took his shots, as I said, and he couldn't take Tyson's shots.
And Tyson last night, obviously, he actually looked in great shape with his top off already. He says he's going to come in at 300 pounds. Is that a mind game, or do you genuinely believe he's going to come in that heavy?
I don't think he'll come in that heavy. I think he'll come in as lightly the weight as he did last time. Whatever weight he comes in at, he's no fool. He's no slouch, Tyson. He's not going to be complacent. He's got a very good boxing brain. He knows what he's going to do to win. He worked out Wilder in the first fight. And as I say, in my opinion, got robbed. In the second fight, he showed how much he worked him out and done a job on him.
And finally, Frank, obviously we've got a massive night starting with Joe Joyce and Carlos Takam. Can you set the night up for us? Set the night up starting with Joe Joyce and then going to Tyson Fury.
It's a heavy night. It's a heavy night. I think we're going to see Joe Joyce make a statement. And I think Tyson Fury, as we move over to the other side of the pond, I think Tyson Fury is going to do exactly the same thing. I believe he will stop Wilder again. I think he's got too much for him in every department.
Is he going to stop him quicker than last time?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a race, but I think he'll get the openings, and once he gets the openings, I think he'll take him out. He's got his number. It happens with people. It happens with some fighters. Some fighters never had to beat him another fighter. And Wilder's a very, very dangerous and a good fighter, but I don't think he's as good or as dangerous as Tyson's going to be for him.
Sounds like we've got a great night of British boxing.
It is.
Frank.
I mean, look, again, it's Brits, isn't it? It's that. I mean, we're doing so really well over here. The 4 belts are in Britain. You've got the best youngsters coming through, all novices coming through in Joe's case. It's great. It's never been like this. It's like buses coming along.
Roll on July 24th, Frank.
Roll on, and I'm really looking forward to it because I think we're going to have a really electric night.